Which was the most successful bike of the 2017 season? It's a season which is quickly fading from memory at the moment, so let's remind you of some fantastic racing with the annual GCN World Tour of Bikes.
Yeah, you thought it was just riders that got World Tour points, huh? Well, you would be wrong, unfortunately, because in our universe, the bikes get points as well. Although these aren't UCI points, these are GCN points.
They are.
So arguably better.
Yeah, anyway, the following list will tell you what the most successful bikes of 2017 were, and to work it out, we have logged every single World Tour race and stage and allocated points.
That's right, the point structure is different from the UCI World Tour, though. We felt that one-day classics deserve more points. So accordingly, the Tour de France is the biggest point scorer with 100 up for grabs, but races like the Tour of Flanders and Paris-Roubaix get 80 points. That's just 10 less than the other Grand Tours, the Giro and the Vuelta, which therefore get 90 for the overall.
Likewise, stages of Grand Tours also get more points, with 5 stage wins giving you the equivalent number of points to an overall victory at that race.
Which seems fair,
It does.
I think. Yeah, now the Women's World Tour calendar does differ again, and so the point structure there changes accordingly.
So let's start with the men, shall we? The 10th most successful bike of 2017 was...
It's the Scott Foil, tumbling 7 places from its very impressive third in 2016. The Foil only just scrapes in to the top 10 this year, scoring an almighty 279 points less than it did the previous season. But thanks to an ever-consistent strike rate from young sprinter Caleb Ewan, it does still make the list. Although maybe it won't next year, because maybe it'll be the disc version.
In at number 9, it is a first for the GCN World Tour of Bikes, a time trial machine. And probably no surprise that it's a BMC, with hitters such as Rowan Dennis, Richie Port and Stefan Kung and a formidable team time trial squad. Over the course of this year, it has racked up 106 points.
Yeah, this is rumoured to be the fastest time trial bike in the Pro Peloton. And I think I'm right in saying, Dan, that it's the only one that gets its very own specialist team mechanic to look after the fleet.
In at number 8, it is another first in GCN's World Tour of Bikes, and this will be a very welcome sight for many of you out there. It is a Bianchi with its familiar Celeste green.
That's right, it is the aerodynamic OLTRE XR4, featuring Bianchi's own countervail vibration dampening technology. Now, perhaps because of that, perhaps irrespective of that, it has had a stellar season. It's racked up a wide variety of wins under the Lotto NL Jumbo team. The ever-consistent Ridley Helium is once again back in the top 10. For the 3rd year running, in fact. This time it climbs to 7, up from 9 last year, with 44 more points to its name.
Yeah, it's thanks to some great riding this year from Team Lotto Soudal, who had a stellar Vuelta a España, taking 4 stage victories there. But also, it is in part down to Team Aqua Blue Sport. They also took a stage win at the Vuelta. And let's not forget that hugely popular stage victory for Larry Warbasse over at the Tour de Suisse. In at number 6, we have yet another first in GCN's World Tour of Bikes. Giant have broken into the top 10.
Almost unbelievable that that's the first time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, it is probably a result of their race victories being spread out over 4 successful frame sets. However, this year has been more successful than ever, and most victories have come aboard the legendary TCR Advanced SL.
Yeah, there was a Grand Tour victory, of course, through Tom Dumoulin's efforts at the Giro d'Italia, and they took multiple stage wins this year at the Tour de France through Warren Barguil and also Michael Matthews, who fortunately for them tends to favour the TCR over the Aero Propel. Number 5, and we're up to the second BMC on our list. This time, it is the Team Machine. Now, this is in fact exactly the same position it held 12 months ago, although this time around, it scored double the points. Ironically though, the biggest win that Team BMC had this year, Paris-Roubaix, was not won on a Team Machine, but instead on a Gran Fondo.
That's right. And technically, Dan, the Team Machine should perhaps count as 2 different bikes this year, given that BMC released a new one mid-season. Although we are going to disregard that. And it has to be said, Greg Van Avermaet's gold-themed bike is possibly my pro bike of the year. In at number 4, up 2 places from last year, it's the Specialized VENGE Vias and VENGE Vias Disc, which we're counting as one bike.
Yeah, the VENGE Vice has been far more widely adopted by pro riders this year, with consistent wins from the likes of Peter Sagan, Fernando Gaviria, Sam Bennett, and possibly most notably, Marcel Kittel. It's a super specialist bike, there's no doubt it's mega aero, but the disc version does seem to have won it a few more fans in the pro peloton. Up one place from 2016 and breaking onto the podium, it's the Canyon Ultimate CF SLX, which has racked up 453 points.
Many of which they have to thank the prolific Alejandro Valverde for, even in just the half season that he raced. In that time, he got 2 of the Spring Classics, the Volta Catalunya and the Vuelta a País Vasco.
To be fair though, the Canyon always racks up a lot of points because it's not just Team Movistar who use it, but also Team Katusha who favour the lightweight bike for many of their racing days. We are now down to the top 2, with 2 icons of the pro peloton still to come, the Pinarello F10 and the Specialized Tarmac. But which one has taken the crown?
Well done. In second place, dropping off the top spot for this year, it's the second Specialized on our list. It is the Tarmac. Now, after its mid-season refresh, this icon of the pro racing peloton is arguably even better than it was before, with improved aerodynamics and even lighter weight.
And that means that taking the crown for 2017 is the Pinarello DOGMA F10. New for 2017, it remains Team Sky's only road bike option, and as such, it has taken sprint victories courtesy of the likes of Elia Viviani, classics with Kwiatkowski, and of course Grand Tours with Chris Froome. That's quite an accolade.
Of course, having only one road bike option does mean that the Pinarello is more likely to take the crown than other brands that have a larger choice of frames the riders can choose from. So, as always, we are going to award the title for the most successful manufacturer as well.
In at number 5, it's Giant. Thanks to some stellar performances aboard the TCR, but also on the Trinity time trial bike, Giants break into not only the bike list for the first time, but also the manufacturers.
In fourth place, up one spot from 2016, it's BMC. Hardly surprising perhaps, given that they have 2 bikes inside the top 10.
In third, just 4 points clear of BMC and moving up one place in 2016, it's Canyon.
In second, also moving up one spot, it is Pinarello, which means that the big loser this year, Scott, dropping from second all the way down to 8th, leaving only one choice for the number 1 spot. It's Specialized, with an almighty gap of 302 points over their closest challenger.
So, what about the Women's World Tour then? Well, in 5th place there, it's the Cipollini NK1K.
In 4th place, it is the Scott Foil choice of the ORICA Scott team. Another hugely successful year for them, with Annemiek van Vleuten in particular standing out.
Yeah, in 3rd we have the Liv Envy, the bike of Team Sunweb.
In 2nd, it's another welcome sight in the GCN World Tour of Bikes. Another historic Italian brand, it's the Colnago C60 bike. Wiggle high 5.
And in 1st, perhaps unsurprisingly given that it's the bike of the all-conquering Bulls Dorman squad, it is the Specialized AMIRA.
Now, does this all mean anything? Does successful mean best? No, perhaps the GCN World Tour of Bikes is as much a judge of marketing spend as it is performance. But I think it's interesting to see nevertheless, when we've got that welcome new entry of Bianchi, the rise of Giant and the fall of Scott.
Yeah, interesting stuff. What's your opinion though? I mean, those are the stats and the numbers and the facts, but what do you think was actually the best bike of 2017? If you so wish, you can get involved in the comment section just down below.
Yeah, do also make sure you subscribe to GCN before leaving this video. To do it, just click on the globe.
A couple more videos now. Down here is last year's GCN World Tour of Bikes, whilst down here, so I was about to click there, it is Greg Van Avermaet's Team BMC Team Machine Gold Edition.
I might have another watch, if I'm honest.